Hello, Board. Dr. Cleveland. I'm going to change my update today from what I normally do, so we'll have some weather updates. So at the last board meeting, I updated on the tornado damage that we received on March 30th. So on April 16th, about 4 a.m., we got a hailstorm that came through Springdale, and it affected several schools. That was on a Saturday morning. We found out it had knocked out skylights, broken windows, and damaged roofs. So we inspected all the roofs in Springdale, and there was 15 roofs that had quarter size or larger damage, pretty extensive. And then we had 10 other buildings that had quarter size or smaller damage. So we're working with the insurance company to get those looked at.
Tired of hearing from us.
They are. So that's set up. Hopefully next week they'll get an adjuster up here and we'll get a roofing company to cut out samples and let them inspect. But in the meantime, we have made temporary patches. We've took out some skylights, repaired some skylights to get the roofs not to leak. So then that happened on the 16th. And on May 5th, we got a lot of rain and had a lot of flooding issues. So I updated Dr. Cleveland. I think he shared with you the update. So we got the first call about 3:30 that morning. About 4 o'clock, 71 was closed. Several roads were closed. Talked with Dr. Cleveland about 5:15. Had a plan with Kevin Conkin on what routes were safe to run and which ones were going to have to be modified. So that day we ran 64 regular routes, and 20 of those routes we had to modify due to flooding or road damage, or some had debris. So it was a little bit of everything. We ran 19 sped routes, and there was 2 sped students we couldn't get to because of flooding issues. So that day was a little hectic. We had a lot of flooding in several buildings, from flooded gyms to debris on the roads, and we had most of our property cleared out before school started. We did have some floods that took longer to get cleaned up. And so between that and the testing schedules that we've had to maintain, it's got our work in progress work orders have increased about 75%. I expect that'll take us about 2 months to get that back down to our normal amount of work orders that we do. And like I said, we're waiting on the insurance company to inspect the roofs. And then we continue to work on George Elementary, getting bids for that to get to the insurance to move forward with making permanent repairs on that building. You guys have any questions about that? Okay.
You can watch the grass grow right now.
We can. So yeah, so between the testing and the flooding, yeah, we're behind on mowing. So we're actually mowing right now to get ready. And like I said, I think it'll take a couple weeks to get the mowing back under control. And okay.
Still planning on ramping up additional summer help, right? Temporary help?
Yeah, so we've got several seniors. We had one actually start today full time. We've got several. As soon as they get done with their school work, then they'll be over working for us this summer. So that always helps us catch up on mowing and just projects for the summer. And then another update on the construction. So we did receive bids on Central Junior High gym remodel and Southwest Field House, and they came in over budget. So what we've decided to do is to rebid these projects, which were bid package 1 at both Central and Southwest. We're going to roll those into bid package 3, which is the entire building. So that'll increase the square footage, which we should get a better price. So we don't have how it's going to affect our schedule yet. Could be 2 or 3 weeks of a delay before we get those projects started. But we are going ahead and moving forward with the stormwater plan, getting it ready, and then we'll have contractors under contract and subs, and as soon as the bids get back and we vet the subcontractors, then we can move forward. And we are going ahead and moving forward tomorrow at Southwest with the portion that the district is going to start. We will start that work tomorrow, and then I plan on having it done in 2 weeks.
There is a timeline that we're under. If you recall, we had phase 1 of Central, phase 1 of Southwest, were approved and funded about 3 years ago, and so that process has started. We waited for phase 2, approved and funded, to do it as one project instead of having a partial building just built. This opportunity for us, there's not a waiver process at this time unless the legislature takes action. And if they take action in January to work on inflationary costs and things like that to help the district, we will not meet our obligation to have those facilities constructed. So we're needing to move forward. We're also working with some state legislature. You all visited with them last week, and I did too, in Little Rock, about putting something into place to help mitigate the overall inflationary costs for what we're experiencing in construction. Y'all are experiencing it in your work, and we're certainly experiencing this. Spot on.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We knew exactly what we thought it would cost. We had money to do that. And now 15 to 16% overall is a significant increase when we're already on a tight budget. So we're having to make sure not to really cut, but to review everything in detail. And of course, Michael will talk about that further. But we need to make sure we save as much money as we can.
It looks like Paul has the rendering for that property that's west of Central.
Michael, would you like to come talk about it just for a minute? Michael Johnson of Architecture Plus. He's the architect for Central here.
Yes, Board, Dr. Cleveland, good to see you again this evening. What you are seeing is a possibility of the land that you just approved to purchase. I'm sure there's going to be many more discussions about what can this land become, but we tried to take advantage of the items that were there and enhance them, both as teaching environment and also community environment. I'm going to let Krista, who's one of our architects, who's put her ideas and thoughts into this with direction from Dr. Cleveland, kind of step you through a few of the things that you're seeing up there on the screen.
So in the new property, we are showing an additional play and practice field, in addition to the existing football field that they have already on the property. Also tennis and basketball courts, and additional parking for the new facility, or that could be used for Central, for instance, if there was a basketball game at the property and they needed additional parking. It's also showing a driveway connection to the future Emma Avenue to the south, which could help relieve traffic at student drop-off and pickup times. There's also a couple of pavilions that can be used for outdoor teaching areas, and a pond that can be used for science classroom education, and a few gardens that can be used by both the school and the community. And then we're still making use and leaving a lot of the existing trees that are already on the property, along with the existing creek on the south side there. We are also showing the proposed bike path that the city of Springdale already intends to put along the side of Emma Avenue. So that is there as well.
That blue creek that you see cutting diagonally across the bottom through all those trees down there, for those of you who probably know the property, that is not a creek, that is a huge drainage channel. Yes, so it has to remain there. I wish it was a creek, but it's a big drainage channel. Yes.
Is that a track around the playfield?
It's a walking area. There's a possibility that playfield is not the size of a football or soccer, but there's a possibility maybe you bring the field events over there if needed, But as far as the track, that area is not big enough without a lot more additional cost to get rid of the pond or take away trees. We're trying to limit those costs and just use the natural attributes that are there. Yeah.
So it's just one walking tracks like.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
Most of the joint use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah. And the garden area you're seeing there could be both for students and for community to use as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their ag grant program over there, she uses a lot of outdoor planting.
Well, there's a lot of students that have snuck onto that property and fished in that pond, so I think it being open will.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
All right. You guys have any other questions for me?
Everything good at Springdale, as far as the arena goes?
We should be getting bids back next week. It went out to bid last week, so yeah, so we should get it next week, and we'll see what those numbers are. It bid all as one package, so.
We're supposed to start there as soon as. school
Yeah,
starts.
June 2nd, or second week of June. I've got 1 week, the first week of June, as soon as teachers get out. We'll have 1 week to get everything out of the way. And then the second week of June, demolition will start. And the first week of June, they will be on site, but they'll be putting up the stormwater. And then they'll be taking some of the selective demolition out of the Ox Gym, bleachers, stuff we're trying to save. We've got to get it out first so we don't damage it, and then get it stored in a air-conditioned space, you know. So it's going to take a little longer on the demo because we are saving parts of it to reuse. So it should move pretty
I was
quick.
at the Ox Gym the other day, and the lobby's starting to
Yeah.
fall in on itself, and I don't figure we're doing any work orders on that. So.
No, it has some pretty major foundation issues on the southwest corner. So
Get the bulldog off the front.
we've got a lot of things we're saving.
I was gonna say, there's a long list.
Yeah, yeah. So Dusty's got some good plans there for moving forward with that. The driveway at Don Tyson School of Innovation got rain delayed last week. We were waiting on one final approval. I talked to Mario at Baldwin Shell. We expect to get that from the city tomorrow, and then they have the contractors ready to start in on that. So we expect that'll take off hopefully tomorrow, and then we'll get that project going and try to get it completed before school starts.
Will Turnbow hook into that anyway?
Will they do what?
Will Turnbow hook into that?
Mhm. Yeah, there's, when that driveway gets around by Turnbow, we had put an exit into where their circle drive is back there, for the car riders. We were gonna put a drive-through there with a gate where we could block it off, you know, if we wanted to keep that secured, and then open it up during events, or at certain times we could open or close the gates. So. Okay, thanks.